welcome to this week's video. Thank you for joining me. My name's Beth. If you don't know, I'm the artist behind Beth Frost Art, and this week I thought I'd do a sketchbook tour for you, so let's get into the video. So last week or the week before, my parents were cleaning out their house and they dropped around a load of my old artwork that I was just storing there, and some of the stuff was this big A3 sketchbook, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to do another sketchbook tour for you guys. I haven't done one in a while, so I thought, yeah, why not take a look at this sketchbook. It's an A3 soft cover sketchbook from Seawhite of Brighton. I use all of their sketchbooks, like I've never used any other brand for my sketchbooks. They're just amazing. Yeah, I love them. I don't feel the need to kind of use anything else because I've never had a problem with any of their sketchbooks. I don't know if you can see on the edge here, it's embossed as well. I think they do a lot of work with schools and colleges and stuff. So this one says University of Southampton Winchester School of Art, which is where I went to uni. And I think this sketchbook was from my final year, and it says semester 2 at the top. So yeah, let's take a look and see what this holds. So here we are on my messy desk. Please excuse the mess. I'm really sorry. This is my artwork table, so it's covered in paint and resin and all sorts. So yes, here is the A3 sketchbook. It says on the back that it's acid-free 140 GSM extra wet strength paper made in the United Kingdom. So yeah, let's get going. So the first spread is just a loose piece of canvas. I think I remember someone in my studio was just giving away bits of canvas that they weren't using anymore. So I really wanted to experiment with some different textures. So this bit of the canvas is all like hard, so I might have used something mixed with PVA glue or something. So yeah, these are like little bits of leaf, I think. I was looking at nature and different textures and colours, so yeah, I just had a go at splodging some different materials onto a bit of canvas to see how it would react. And then on this page I've just got some ideas for my final major projects that I wanted to do. So there's a place near my house called Titchfield Haven, which is like a nature reserve. So I was looking at animals and wildlife, textured paintings, giving the sense of the habitat and the energy that was around. Yeah, painting on the wall, then project a video over the top maybe. Kurt Jackson is an artist I was looking at. Immersive experiences, how humans are aware of animals and wildlife and your instincts. I was using a lot of text in my work in my previous semester, so I think carrying on with that as well. Focusing on like social practice and getting others involved in my artwork, and like creating awareness for the wildlife, etc. I think was kind of my vibe for this project. So then these two pages, I was looking again at different textures. And I really like how in some of my sketchbooks I've put this kind of like brown sugar paper, just stuck it to the paper to give another like background colour, and I think it works really well with the colours I've used in this experiment as well. I think it just gives another depth to sketchbooks, and you can kind of experiment with colours without having to commit to anything. So yeah, this is just a scrap bit of watercolour paper, I think. And then I wanted to experiment with texture again, so I don't know if you can see like these little marks and grooves. I think I painted on either acrylic or some like gesso or primer or something, and then put cling film over the top of it and kind of scrunched it up and let it dry, and then when you peel it off it gives you these kind of subtle like little marks and texture to the pages. And then I think I got some new acrylics, so I was just experimenting with how they would look if you just brushed them over gently, these marks on the paper. And again, I think there's like little bits of leaf and things that I tried to stick under the cling film as well. And then this, again, I did the same. You can kind of see the cling film marks a bit better on this one. It's more defined. I think I must have used more product or something, and it's kind of bunched up a bit better and lots more leaves and texture. So yeah. Damp. Oh, I see. So I had some log slices, and I think this is like bits of mold. It was all like speckled into the paper. So yeah, I just wanted to use different surfaces to create these like raised lines, and it's kind of like vein-like you would see in a leaf or something else in nature, and using like natural substances like the leaves crushed in to make even more texture. This is like a weird bit of parchmenty, leafy kind of textured paper. I can't remember where I got this from. Someone in the studio was probably just giving it away. So I thought I'd experiment with it. Oh, this one's fallen off the page. I think this one goes here or here, like that. Yeah, again, just another bit of canvas. And you can kind of see the difference in this one, even from a few experiments ago, how much more I've learned and how detailed this kind of is. So yeah, more of the same kind of thing, really. This was just some feedback I got from one of my projects. Oh, these are photos. I went to Longleat Safari Park, which is in the UK, and you can drive around in your car, and they have this red deer enclosure where they give you some food for the red deer, and they come up to your window and you can feed them. So yeah, that was a really cool experience to get so close and see in detail and experience for myself the behaviours and just seeing the animal up close. Like photos, obviously you can see a lot of detail, but it's just something else in real life. So yeah, that was really fun. I've been back a couple times since and done the same thing because it was just so good. Okay, and then in this spread, so this is getting on to the paintings I was planning for my final project, and to get everyone involved in my project, I asked people to kind of summarize a experience they've had in nature, something that stood out to them, and kind of write it down. And then I went through and highlighted like the key points that I wanted to focus on and tried to create a painting out of it. So this was just me planning what I wanted to do and making some notes of how I wanted it to look. And then this was the background I created for it. So I did these on A2 bits of card, and I just wanted to take some photos to put in the sketchbook to document kind of the process of these paintings. So you can see I've used the same kind of textures from the experiments previously in my sketchbook, and I even managed to attach a feather to it. And I also started carving in some words into the paint before it dried to carry on having text in my paintings. So yeah, this is another one featuring a fox. And then this was the background that I came up with for that one. This was just an experimental biro drawing that I did on I think it's just a bit of normal paper. And just a normal black biro pen of an owl with some cool details. Yeah, again on this background of brown sugar paper. It kind of ties in with the nature theme, and I wanted to stick it on something to make it stand out just from a white page. Like a white page on a white page isn't gonna do anything. Again, with the backgrounds, this kind of ties in with the colours of this painting. So this is just a watercolour painting with some biro of a sparrowhawk, I think it is, and experimenting with some like colours splashed in the background and kind of being a bit more experimental outside the lines, a bit more loose, to give it more of like that watercolour feel. Not super hyper realistic or anything, just, you know, figurative. So yeah, I really like the colours and the way it all blends together. I think that's really nice. And then this is on watercolour paper, I believe. Yeah, it's all textured. A biro outline, and this is like pro marker, what are they called? Alcohol markers. Yeah, just to add highlights of colours and a bit more texture, so I think that's quite nice. And again, these colours work well with the background paper. These are more bits of text that people sent me, so I kind of had a scan through and started planning out some more paintings. This is one of the backgrounds from the previous text. Just, yeah, some close-ups of the texture to document in my sketchbook. And then these are overlays. So I did a carborundum workshop. So I don't know if anyone's had experience with these before. If you have, let me know down in the comments below how you got on or how you found it. But basically, carborundum is like this gritty material, and you can kind of make prints out of it. You mix it with colour and PVA glue, and I think I drew this outline on like cello, and yeah, you kind of just put the glue down and sprinkle the carborundum, or you can mix it in and just paint it on to your design, but it gives this really like gritty texture. These are just some puffins that I'd drawn previously. Yeah, you can see that. And then I guess this was my background one, just creating different patterns and textures. So yeah, being a bit more loose and abstract. And a purpley version there. You can see like the density, you can build it up so it's really rough or a bit more loose, and then you put it on the print press and it gives you these cool textures, which you can see here. So this is just on some paper, like some thicker paper, probably about 200 GSM I reckon. Yeah, and this is how it kind of comes out like. I really like this background, like a lot of the texture, and it even makes the paper feel grainy, even though it's just the print. Like it indents into the paper so you can like feel the grain on it. But I think this would be a really cool background if you had like a subject in the middle of it. I think it gives a lot of cool textures and patterns. Yeah, I should have done this one the other way around, yellow in the background with the blue, because that would have stood out a bit more, but silly me. The lighter one works better, I think, because you can actually see the shapes of the puffins. But yeah, it's really cool for like abstract landscapes and stuff. I don't know how well it works for like detailed animals, but it depends how abstract you want to be, I guess. So yeah, that was just experiments from that workshop, and I wanted to document them and keep them, so I put them in my sketchbook. And then this is a watercolour background that I was experimenting with just on a bit of A4 watercolour paper. There used to be watercolour club at my university where we'd just all sit around the table in the cafe and chill and chat and create watercolour. So yeah, this was just an experiment from that, I believe. But yeah, I quite like all the colours and the textures and some splatters around the edge. They blend in pretty nice. So I don't think I wanted to use it at the time, so I just stuck it in my sketchbook, and I'm kind of scared to ruin it if I paint something over the top of it or draw something over the top of it. And the colours are quite bold to paint more watercolour over the top, so it would have to be like a drawing or gouache or acrylic or something over the top of it, I reckon. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of gives me like butterfly vibes. Maybe something quite colourful like that. If you have any other suggestions of what animal or plant or something I could draw over the top that would look good, let me know in the comments. Okay, and then these are just some photos of experimenting with the paintings that I created from people's text that they gave me, and bringing, I remember I went out into the grounds of the university and just found loads of like branches and stuff and brought them inside and kind of tried to incorporate my nature paintings into it and see how they related to each other. I found this really cool branch in Suffolk and brought it home with me and sort of dangled all the paintings off of it, the ones that fly anyway. Yeah, I quite like how this one like is surrounded by leaves and it kind of then just blends into the painting. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, just more text and highlighting what I wanted to bring out of the text. Oh, this is just a map that I got from when we went to the Isle of Mull in Scotland, and I just really liked the illustrations of it, so yeah, stuck it in my sketchbook as a memory, and it was kind of all tying into the project and research for the project as well, so yeah, pop that in here. And then this is just some more photos from when I went to Scotland. So I don't know if you can see here, we went to the Cairngorm Reindeer Sanctuary, and you can go out onto like the highlands and feed the reindeer that they have living there, which is really cool. And we went to see some ospreys and yeah, some art galleries and just really nice landscapes that I kind of took inspiration from. We went horse riding along Loch Ness, which was really cool, and did some hiking, climbed Ben Nevis, went to see different lochs, so yeah, it was a really good experience for this project, very immersed in nature, so yeah, it worked really well. And I think that is the end. Oh, I didn't fill up these last bits of the sketchbook, so maybe that will be my project now, is to use up these end bits of the sketchbook with some more developed nature and wildlife inspired art, because this was probably nearly 10 years, I reckon it was 8 years ago, this sketchbook, so my art style has kind of developed a bit since then, so it'd be really cool to finish this sketchbook with some more art from me now. I really hope you enjoyed looking through this sketchbook with me. I have a few others that were just living at my parents' house that I want to do tours of as well, so stay tuned for those. If you like the video, then please consider subscribing. It really helps me reach other creative people as well, and yeah, like the video, it really helps. If you liked this sketchbook, if you like the look of it, it's from Seawhite of Brighton, and like I said, I love all of their sketchbooks. I have so many of them, and I use their like watercolor pads, acrylic pads. They do so many good paper products, so they've kindly given me a code for you guys, so if you want 10% off their products, you can use code BF10 at checkout. I'll link everything down below, their website, and pop the code there for you as well. So yeah, we can have matching sketchbooks and we can do some sketchbooking together. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.